enough, Classico. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go.
Liverpool fall away to Brentford 3-2. Robbo, 4 defeats on the bounce in the Premier League, 5 in the last 6. The only win was against Eintracht Frankfurt, who had conceded, after the game, I think 23 goals conceded in 6 games. Not good. Slot says there are many things wrong. What say you?
Absolutely, there's lots of things wrong. Defensively, they're not anywhere near as, what's the right word, committed to go and close the ball down as they were. Defenders are making poorer decisions. They're not defending set plays particularly well. In attack, there's no cohesion. Their key players aren't playing particularly well. There's lots of things that Slot's got to sort out. And you can tell by the changes he's making and the sort of changes sometimes with the formation, the changes of the personnel. If you keep doing that, you're never going to get that consistency. He's got to stick with something and say, right, okay, this is the way I'm going to go, and try and stick with it.
I disagree. Sorry. I think I would take that to point. So center backs, you got to stick with them. Yeah. Because you have no other center backs. And you know that these guys are good. It's just they've been playing horrendously, right? Where I would push back a little bit is you already made a big change when you go to 4-2-3-1 with Wirtz in the hole. You saw, I think you have to explore the 4-4-2. More. Not based on the Frankfurt game, because Frankfurt are horrendous, and some of the goals they scored were set pieces anyway. But a scenario with Wirtz, and Jules disagrees with me strongly on this, Wirtz wide and then coming inside on possession to create is a much better option than Wirtz in the middle and getting overrun in midfield. And the other advantage of 4-4-2 is Salah, who defensively doesn't do the work that he used to do, play him in the front too. He's done it before. Play him in the front too. You can choose Isak, Ekitike, whoever you want alongside him. Try that. See if you get mileage there.
Yeah, because although Wirtz probably would say, I don't really fancy playing out wide, as you said, in possession, he wouldn't actually go out wide. He'd make that run slightly in field. And
if it worked for Zinedine Zidane, it can work for you.
And if the right back
him.
Was Frimpong, if it's not going to be at the moment because he's injured, you can get Frimpong down or Conor Bradley going down the outside of him. It works because most teams change their formation from defensive to attacking situations.
And less pressure for Salah as well.
Now, Coyote. Sorry. I mean, was named man of the match, Gab. And, he's nowhere near the Italian team. What's going to go on?
So, I got a text from Mark Ogden saying, he's like, why isn't he in the Italy side, right?
Is that how Mark Ogden speaks?
He does it in a much grimmer tone.
Northern accent.
So, all right, Coyote's only 21 years old. In Italy, we think that, you're a child until you're in your mid-20s. He had a bad season last year. A bad season at club level, a bad season after moving to Brentford. He wasn't playing. This season, he's playing a lot. I think he's going to be in contention. Now, on the right, Italy, we've got Di Lorenzo, we've got Cambiaso, we have other options.
Yeah.
And we haven't yet discovered the power of the throw-in. But guess what? He was man of the match in this game, not just because he can throw the ball really long.
Yeah.
Arsenal extend their lead at the top of the table as Eberechi Eze scores against his old club. Robbo, stout defending and set pieces. This is the way forward.
And some good attacking play as well. You got to be an all-round.
We didn't see it in this game.
Not particularly. No, Arsenal didn't play at their very best. But if you want to win lots of things, you have to have a bit of everything. You can't just be one-dimensional.
No. But they have a lot of very good defending. They've conceded 3 goals this season. They have a lot of set pieces.
Not just their defense.
They've scored 5 goals from open play in the league all season. That's not a lot.
So set plays have been a big part of their armoury. Defending, not just the back four, but all around the pitch, they're quite good at doing that. Declan Rice, I think, is absolutely superb in midfield for them at the defensive side of the game. And they've got strong, quick back players. I mean, Timber has been excellent for a couple of years now. So those things are right. But I also think they, on their day, with Saka and maybe the centre forward, they've got players that can go past.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But I think right now they don't have Saka at his best, and they don't have Odegaard at all. I think they'll go up a notch if those guys come back.
They'll still have enough to win most games at the moment, as they showed against Atletico Madrid and they showed against Crystal Palace this week, in 1 week.
The little gooter comes out again. Robert, we're not done because we have more quick hits.
Absolutely.
Don't look now, but Manchester United have won 3 league games in a row as they beat Brighton 4-2. Are they turning a corner? Legions of Manchester United fans, including our stand-in producer today, Mark, who is Irish and therefore a United fan, they all want to know.
I think they are turning the corner slightly.
Ruben Amorim proven right.
Well, I'm not saying he's
He
proven
didn't
right.
listen to the haters.
No. But what he's done, or what the club have done, they've got 2 players in there that are now having an effect on their attacking quality. And Burmo looks to be a really good player at the moment. We saw it at Brentford, but now he's playing in that slightly sort of inside right position. He's getting himself turned. He's showing pace with his runs. He's scoring goals. And Cunha, I know he can be a bit temperamental, but he's now beginning to open up defences. He's scoring good goals. He's seeing a pass. So if you've got attacking qualities and you look as though you're going to score goals, that makes everybody else more confident defensively. So,
they have a better they have a better goalkeeper now as well.
Maybe have a better goalkeeper.
We even had a Sesko sighting on the third goal. That was a nice little turn.
And he's got a more settled back three. I know Maguire didn't play at the weekend, but De Ligt, we're now seeing the De Ligt that we thought we might see several years ago.
What I think is encouraging at 3-0, when Brighton get it back to 3-2, you're thinking to yourself, squeaky bum time, as Sir Alex might say. Are they going to implode? No. Mentally, they're still there. And I think that you have to give credit to Amorim for that. Yeah. I still don't like Bruno Fernandes in front of in
Casemiro has 2 central midfield players who can't run.
Newly promoted Sunderland are up to 3rd in the table as Shamsin Talbi bags an injury time winner away to Chelsea, and they win 2-1. Robbo, turns out Mark Yu isn't the answer up front, but is it still the usual Palmer dependency that's hurting my boy Enzo Maresca?
A little bit, because they had a lot of possession and they just needed a bit more creativity around the box. When you look at the stats, they dominated the ball. They dominated territory, but they didn't quite have enough guile and creativity in the top.
João Pedro had a bad game.
Yeah.
Estevão needs to start, otherwise...
He only came on as a sub. Garnacho, I don't think he's hit and miss out on the left-hand side.
Garnacho scores a goal and then kind of stops playing.
Yeah, and he's taken off. He's the first player they take off. So, yes, there's certain things that were wrong with Chelsea, but... Palmer, at his best, he picks those passes, he scores goals. They're a different team.
He papers over cracks.
He certainly does.
Erling Haaland does not score for the first time in 13 games for club and country, and Manchester City fall away to Aston Villa 1-0. Robbo, some love for Unai Emery here, or are you going to blame Pep?
No, a bit of love for Unai Emery. Remember, he was getting stick at the start of the season. They couldn't score goals. They didn't look threatening enough. Their passing was too slow. I only watched the highlights, but extended highlights, and they created more of the opportunities. They were good on the counter-attack. There was a lot of movement. They played at a good pace. Lucadinha down the left-hand side was getting forward, getting crosses into the box. Watkins was playing much better and linking up the play. So, yes, I give a lot of credit to Unai Emery, who was under a lot of stick earlier on in the season. He's turned him around.
In the end, his tremendous goal from Matty Cash. Unlikely goal, I think, from Matty Cash. I think Pep is seeing that they're one-dimensional with Erling Haaland because he's the only one scoring.
Yeah.
And he tried to address it. Obviously there's no Rodri. Could have played Nico Gonzalez. Could have played, could have dusted off.
Reinders played as the whole midfield.
He played Reinders, not his position, but I can see what he's doing. Yeah. He's trying to put more creative people on there so that they can find different ways of scoring. Tottenham are road warriors, beating Everton away 3-0 as Mickey van de Ven bags another 2 goals. But Robbo, I personally think Thomas Frank should again thank Lanky St. Vic because this was closer than the score.
Yeah, again, saw the highlights, and Everton had quite a few chances. I mean, early on in the game...
We can call them big saves from my man Vicario.
Yeah, they had big chances, and he made big saves. There's a couple of exceptional saves. One that he almost clawed back from...
Some people, like Don Hutchinson, still don't like him.
Because he doesn't win every ball that comes in from a corner. He flaps at 1 or 2, but he's a good goalkeeper. There's no question about it. He's a good goalkeeper. He makes good saves, and at the moment, he's one of Tottenham's best players. And they relied on a couple of set plays. They scored a decent third. But overall, as you said, the game was much closer than the 3-0 scoreline would suggest.
There's an issue with the front guys. Mohamed Kudus, Randall Colomwani, and Xavi Simons. 0 goals, 1 shot, and 3 touches in the opposition box combined.
Yeah, and now they're also talking about getting rid of Solanke as well. They might get him up for sale. So it's not a forward line.
Poor man's injured. Leave him alone.
Yes.
Now they're second in the table, and we haven't spoken about them yet, Robbo, which I think is unfair.
Yes.
And we should lodge a complaint. Bournemouth ruined Sean Dyche's debut on the Nottingham Forest bench and win 2-0. Gotta ask, are they for real?
Yes. They've got, as you keep telling me, a very good coach who plays some wonderful football. They've got some good individual players. Against Nottingham Forest for a good 70 minutes, they were outstanding. They created lots of opportunities. They played at pace. They were creative.
Olympic goal from Tavernier. How about that? Even though the ball did go out of play, but
when
whatever.
past people with the ball in individual situations, they passed it well. They look a very good team at the moment, and they're going to be a tough side to play against, particularly at home at Bournemouth.
Robbo, compared to last season, Heisen gone, Zabarny gone.
Yep. Kirkic gone.
Kirkic's gone. The other guy, I don't even think is a real right back. And he rebuilds the back four just like that. You coached. Is this a big deal, or is it like, no, it's not a big deal?
You can certainly coach a new back four, but it usually takes a little bit of time for them to understand and get a gel. But they've done it in the first 8-9 games. So
how hard is that to do that?
It's very hard, but he must have worked during the pre-season. He must have worked throughout the opening weeks of the season, because that doesn't happen by luck. You have to work at a defensive structure, and they look very, very good defensively.
I'm fairly confident saying Andoni Iraola was working during preseason rather than watching Ibayanos' live stream. Newcastle will make it 4 wins in 5 as Bruno Guimaraes bags the late winner against Fulham, and they win 2-1. Now, between the Isak saga, even, and having to play in Europe, I thought they'd struggle, Robbo, but Eddie Howe has navigated around their rough start.
Yeah, I saw them in midweek.
They're 12th in the table. So overly excited.
It's a good win against Fulham after their midweek game against Benfica, because they had to put a lot of effort against Benfica. They played at high intensity. They made 1 or 2 changes to the team. Tonali didn't play against Benfica, and that was a bit of a shock. But overall, I think they look quite a good side. Gordon's doing really well down the left-hand side. The centre forward, Voldemort. I saw him a lot in the under-21s for Germany. He's good with his back to goal. He links up the play. He's good in the air, as you would need to be if you're 6'7" or whatever.
You say that, but apparently he had only scored one headed goal before this season. And you know what? It's not that many more, because it seems like a lot of his headed goals actually come off his shoulder. But yes,
but he's been heading them down to other people and all sorts of things. So he's making things happen. So I think Eddie Howe needs to have a little bit of credit for what he's achieved so far at Newcastle this season, and hopefully they do well in Europe. Sheffield Wednesday have gone into administration, and their fans are happy about it, Gab. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going into administration, of course, means that you're going to be deducted 12 points for those who are not accountants. Essentially, it means...
relegated.
Well, the 12 points, probably. I don't follow whatever league they're in, so I wouldn't know. Thank you.
The championship.
But what administration means is, essentially, your club is insolvent. And so the court appoints an administrator to come in to try to pay off whatever debts they can pay off. And
that's usually very minimal.
Which is usually very minimal. And they take over the club, and they're going to look for a new owner. Now, the reason the fans are celebrating is it means that Deshon Chansiri, the previous owner, who they absolutely loathed, is gone.
And did they boycott 1 or 2 of the games? They
boycotted games and stuff. So now what's going to happen is the administrators are urging them, like, guys, we need to get cash in to keep the club ticking over and probably prepare for next season if they get relegated as they expect. So they're buying things in the club shop. They got to bounce.
Turn up in their thousands, unfortunately, for a 2-0 defeat by Oxford.
Yeah, okay, but he's gone. What I don't understand about this guy Chansiri, and I had some of the same questions, and I hope it's not the same answer as Mr. Lee Young-hong when he was in Milan. Is, bro, you're not putting any more money into the club. You lost money in the club. You have offers. Why not sell and get whatever you can out of it? Because there were people who were willing to buy, not just John Texter and this other nonsense. Not that he cares.
So what do you suggest is happening there, Gab?
It seems very, very unusual. I will not suggest anything more because I am...
I saw on Friday they were taking his name is written in the chairs on the opposite side of the stand,
and they're removing
they're removing the white chairs to get the name gone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One day I want to own a stadium and I'm going to write my name in big letters.
Marcotti or Gabriele?
Just Gab.
Just Gab. Okay.
Gab. This brings us to an end.
Yes.
But Robbo, thank you for joining us.
It's been an absolute pleasure as always, Gab.
Jules is still out in partying it up in Spain. He will be on Thursday. So Don Hutchinson, aka Future Jules, Hutch, will be joining me. Until then, love the game, love your neighbor, love yourself.